My name is Dr. Oliver Molina, Director of Percussion Studies here at NSU. Thank you for coming to a special concert. It's actually a really special weekend. It was filled with lots of events. A lot of alumni came back, and I'm looking at some of you now out in the audience. But before we get to them, I want to make sure we kind of show off the current students as well. Please be patient throughout the concert because, as you already saw, there's a lot of stuff on stage, and we'll be moving on lots of things and transitioning between the different pieces. But something that I realized is that it's been a busy year for us for NSU Percussion. We counted up how many concerts we've had this semester between Percussion Ensemble, just this semester, and Steel Band and whatnot. This is number 7 for them. And so it's been a very busy semester. They've been working hard, and obviously when they come out and perform, please give them all the accolades and applause and energy because it's going to be a fun time. Anyways, the first piece that we're going to start, and hopefully you guys saw the programs and grabbed a copy. There's also them on the live stream page. If you hopefully can send it to people who may be watching this from home, and so you can catch that on the Kappa website. But the first piece that we're going to play is a traditional Samba Batucada from Brazil. Earlier this year, actually I guess last year, I got an endowed professorship to get some instruments, and so we brought this World Percussion Ensemble to NSU, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Anyways, here is the NSU Percussion Ensemble with some Samba Batucada. All right, so something that we try to do here is obviously have some fun and then also explore more world music. In 2019, I got a Board of Regents grant to get the steel band going, and on Friday we had our concert, and we also did a steel band workshop where I think 17 people who never played steel bands before joined us on stage and played a tune with us that night. One of the tunes that we played on Friday was Range by Harmony Marsh, and she's going to explain it because especially at our percussion or on steel band concerts, they're very participatory, so she's going to make you participate.
All right, if you've ever seen Chapel Roan perform this next tune, which is called Hot to Go, well, anyone know that one? Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, cool. So it's mandatory that you must have fun and everybody must participate. So we're going to practice spelling out hot to go. Here we go. H. Some of y'all are lame. H. O. T. T. O. G. O. Yeah, y'all are naturals. And the double seconds will help you remember how it goes during the verses.
One of my professors used to say, in order to feel young, surround yourself with young people. But then he also said, in order to feel old, surround yourself by old people. And so these guys keep me young, but not looking young. Anyways, the next tune that we have for you is it's more of a traditional soca tune titled Both of Them by the Mighty Sparrow. So this is not listed as a brief intermission, but take some time to greet your neighbor, especially for the alumni. Say, what year did you go here? And see if you can meet some new friends who, especially alums from the NSU, will have a quick set change. We have to strike the whole steel band and set up for percussion ensemble. So just bear with us a few moments, please. Thank you. All right, thank you for your patience through the process. There's only one more, actually kind of two more moves with all the pieces that we're doing, so hopefully just bear with us. The next piece on our program, obviously this is an alumni concert and featuring all of you who are performing with us later today, but then also one particular alumni who wrote a piece for another alum for their Minuano High School's honor band performance last year at TMEA. Steven Wimberley wrote it for Donald Myers and his group. I guess they're pointing at him, so if you want, everyone just say, yeah, there you go. need to make sure I acknowledge him at the end, but thank you for acknowledging him early. This piece, again, was written for their TMA performance and is entitled Inferno, obviously tied to both their time here at NSU because of who we are with the demons and whatnot. There are some other things in there rhythmically that has to do with Mineola and whatnot. And if you have been to Mineola before, just like Natchitoches, there's a train, or I guess railroad tracks there, that's what it's called, that run through the town that I've got stopped at before. And so hopefully you hear some of those sounds that are kind of built in. But it's a marimba solo feature with percussion ensemble, and I'm glad I get to share the stage with these students at least one more time. Anyways, here is Inferno by Steven Wimberley. Again, thank you for bearing with us through the set changes. After the next two pieces, when it actually says brief intermission, that will be the last one. There'll be some small things to move between things, but the pretty much mass change of the entire stage won't be happening anymore. Before we get to the next piece, I just want to recognize, I mentioned earlier that we've had 7 performances for the percussion ensemble and steel band this semester. Also, we've had 7 recitals this semester. So 4 undergrad recitals, 2 graduate recitals, and then my own faculty recital. So it's been a very busy semester, so please help me in thanking the students for all their hard work. There are 4 students I do want to recognize before we go on. Actually, I told them this, and I'll just share it with you real quick. I ran out of time. I had thank you cards for each of them that I was going to write and personalize for each of them, but I ran out of time. So they're going to just get a blank card for right now. But there are 4 students who are going to be not with us next semester because they'll be either graduating, student teaching, or just moving on with life. The first person I want to recognize is Harmony Marsh. She will be starting student teaching at Rivercrest High School in Texas. And in just a few weeks, months, when is it? June 21st, is that the right date? June 20, how many days? 48 days. She's counting them. She's getting married to Mr. Austin Head. Where is he? Oh, there he is, yeah. Sorry, I like to embarrass my students when I have the chance. Next is Kirk Ibanez. Kirk will also be student teaching in the fall at Parkway High School. He is, I guess, known around the studio as Uncle Kirk because he's Filipino like me, and so he definitely likes playing with my kids and hanging out with them. Anyways, the next person on us is probably the person who's been in the studio the longest because he actually graduated a year and a half ago, and then he decided, I guess he liked music enough that he wanted to stay and join percussion ensemble again while he finished his second undergraduate degree, Kobe Latham. And last but not least, I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with him because he is old, and there are so many jokes that we have that the younger generation don't get. But the next person is actually graduating with his master's degree in music performance, and he will be studying. He'll be starting his DMA in jazz studies at the University of Nebraska. Caleb Daniels. All right, so hopefully they give those cards back to me so I can fill them out. So the next piece on the program, not far from here, it was originally a marimba solo that Blake Tyson wrote. Then he orchestrated it out for percussion ensemble, which you will hear today. It's a beautiful piece. I remember the first time I heard it. It sounds like at times a choir singing, even though these are percussion instruments. This is probably in contrast to everything else on the concert. More pensive, more beautiful, not as aggressive like everything else or loud as the rest of the program. But this piece in particular I chose mainly for Ken Green. Hopefully the title is not far from here, is that he will always be in our hearts and his legacy will always be with us. Anyways, here is Not Far From Here by Blake Tyson. Okay, we have one last piece before the intermission, and so during the intermission, especially from the last piece and on, or a lot of stuff has to do with Mr. Ken Green, who is a percussion professor here for 29 years. And this next piece, if you've been to a percussion ensemble concert or were in the percussion ensemble during his era, you probably played a ragtime once, twice, all your years you were here. And so we decided to bring one back for this. And this one's actually a little bit more special of sorts, is because Harmony did a recital earlier this semester. She did great, and something that we are welcoming to the stage is her father, who's also an NSU alum, and then also her brother, who will be starting here at NSU as a music major. All of them were music majors, and they will be joining us on stage for Log Cabin Blues. Sorry, I forgot to say one more thing, is that during intermission, obviously get up, move around, chit-chat, and meet other people. But last night we had a banquet or a dinner at the Flying Brewery, especially if you are hungry later on, I recommend their pizza and wings. And so quick plug for them for hosting us. But also, we had a slideshow as part of it, and so during intermission, obviously, again, get around, but we will put some pictures that the alumni had throughout, they submitted, and we watched last night. Anyways, here's Log Cabin Blues by George Hamilton Green, featuring the Marsh family, and then myself and Caroline. All right, so I already mentioned some of the festivities that happened this weekend, starting yesterday. So we first met around 9 o'clock. We did a little short registration. We gave out name tags, and so that people would know each other. We did quick introductions at 9:30, and then we rehearsed just for a little bit yesterday for the last piece that we will do on the concert, and we rehearsed the 2 other pieces that you're about to hear in the afternoon. And then we had a short drumline session for those who still had some chops from marching band from their good old days at the Esplanade, right outside in the Alumni Courtyard, where we always performed a little pregame, or I guess not pregame, but a pre-show before pregame before we marched down to the stadium. It was fun watching them remember just by muscle memory how to play Where Eagles Dare, pregame sequence 1, shuck and jive, and all those fun things that we play in the stands every football game. Anyways, the next piece that we are going to play is titled Marching Season by Yanni, and it's a classic Mr. Green selection that he always programmed with his students when he was part of the percussion ensemble. Hope you enjoy. All right, the next piece on our program, we play a lot of large percussion orchestra or large percussion pieces. And so the first one, obviously, with March's Season, a classic Ken Green piece that he liked to pick. The next one is actually one that I chose because I programmed a few years ago with some of the younger generation of NSU percussionists, Snarky Puppy, Shofukan, and it's just a fun one, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one as well. right, again, thank you guys for coming out on this Sunday afternoon. We have one last piece for you guys tonight, but before we get to it, just want to say a few words about Ken Green. I started here in 2015, and so I only had 7 years working with him as a colleague, but definitely he was the most supportive, genuine, humble person. Something that probably all these students will, anyone who knows him, but especially these students, knows that he's a talker, but those talks were always the best talks you probably have. You may have had the same talks over and over again, but they're always something, a life lesson that you probably could walk away from and know that even spending those 5 hours or however long you were with them, it was something that you could walk away, that you learned something and hold dear to your heart. But before we play this last piece, another tune that I think most of these students actually have played before because Mr. Green had programmed it with them, Minuano in 6/8 by Pat Metheny. We have a short video. Obviously, Ken couldn't be with us today with his health concerns and everything. He couldn't make the trip, but he did make a short video with the help of another former NSU alum, Dominic Kachia, and we'll share that with you now.
Hi everyone, I'm so glad that you've taken this opportunity to come together again and reflect on the very special times that we all shared at NSU. They were certainly very productive and truly unforgettable. I cherish the memory of every lesson, every rehearsal, and every performance, but most importantly, each and every one of you. We were so blessed to have the best students imaginable, each of you bringing something uniquely special to the table. It was tremendously humbling and a great honor to be a part of your lives at that time, helping make each of your individual dreams come true and to watch the continuous growth of the program. For me, it was always about the people and passing the torch to very capable hands. As I watch you all achieve great success in your lives and careers, it brings me such joy to now see you passing the torch and lovingly touching the lives of your families, friends, students, and communities. It is obvious that God had his hand on this the whole time, granting us a great university with the finest administrators and colleagues I've ever met, and a community that gave us unlimited support. Of course, I couldn't have managed any of this without the constant love and support of my amazing wife, Cinda, and our two wonderful sons, Kenny and Kevin. Cinda's deep understanding and appreciation for musical excellence, along with her unwavering commitment to our family and the NSU Percussion family, cannot be understated, and to this she remained dedicated her entire life. May God bless you as you continue on this magnificent journey of life, and always know how much I love and appreciate the honor of calling you friends.
I know we gathered here because of Ken, because all the impact he had in our lives. And so if you wanted to reach out to him, I think I have his, I don't think. I have his phone number or mail address if you want to send him a note or give him a call or anything else like that. And I could definitely share that with you. Anyways, the last piece is a fun one, and so that all the alums know whether you are on stage or you are here as an alum. In general, we're going to take a group photo and obviously send it to him as well. And so this is Minuano by Pat Metheny.